Video games are a storytelling medium unlike anything else. Music is a few minutes long, movies are a few hours long, and sure, reading a book can take a couple of months. But a video game, well, the life of a video game can be decades long. And I don't mean that in the sense that in 30 years, you can come back to a video game, replay it, and still feel like it's a good game. You can. But you can do the same thing with music, movies, and books, so that doesn't set it apart. However, those other three mediums are generally finished products. Hollywood doesn't release a movie and then reshoot, re-edit, and change plot points based on audience feedback. Sometimes you'll get a director's cut, but largely everything else is the same, and that only adds a couple of new scenes. Books, you may get a new or anniversary edition. And music, you might get a remix that has a completely different story behind the original song. No, what I mean is, you can experience the development and life of a video game for as long as the developers are willing to continue to curate that experience for you. And you can do this almost in real time. Because let's be honest with ourselves. Developers releasing a big update to a video game every 3 to 4 months is a privilege many of us take for granted. Because no other storytelling medium does that for its audience. Exploration has always been a key and crucial part of video games ever since stories started being told through them. From placing items in nooks and crannies around their world, to reward the look under the stairs concept, to outright exploration of everything that they've created in their game. No Man's Sky takes these concepts to the cosmos and delivers an experience that has not, and I think, will never be matched. No Man's Sky is turning 10 years old in the year of our Red Cross Doctor 2026. And I want to talk about this criminally underappreciated masterpiece. So I spent 30 days engulfing myself into the never-ending universe of No Man's Sky. I played it normally on my PC and also through VR. And even though it's not my first time playing the game, it was my first time experiencing VR, and on top of that, it has been about 2.5 years since I've actually played the game. And the story they tell you begins as soon as you select the game mode you want to play. The opening title screen is an act of visual storytelling just as much as it is a loading screen. You're floating through the universe with dots all around you, nebula clouds faintly gracing the screen. You can turn your camera during this time and see that in any direction you look, there are endless amounts of dots as far as you can see. It isn't until after the game's title goes away that your suspicions are confirmed. Each one of those dots are systems, named systems. Before you've even played the game, developers invoke a deep excitement for exploration. Have any of them been discovered? Almost certainly, the answer is no. How many will I discover? Now, while of course, so much of the beauty in the game is looking at the environment you've been placed in or you've found on your journey, the true game begins when you look up. When you see the stars in the night sky, the planet that feels so close you can reach out and touch it. Or looking up and seeing your entire sky be filled with the rings of asteroid fields that surround your planet. I mean, come on. I don't know a single person who hasn't thought about how awesome it would be to have a planet like Saturn right on our horizon. The moment that night comes on your planet and you look up at the stars, you cannot help but ask yourself the same question you ask yourself on Earth. The same question that has been plaguing humans for as long as we've looked up at the stars. What else is out there? See, that's the moment where the game grabs you, pulls you off of the wall, and starts dancing with you. The moment your mind and the game are moving in tandem together. A dance you've never done, but a dance that seems so innate and has been honed through millennia of human evolution. No Man's Sky came at the perfect time in human history. We were born too late to explore our own planet, and too early to truly explore space and see what other planets are out there. Our species is in limbo with space exploration, and our next golden age of exploration may possibly be decades or even generations from now. But No Man's Sky breaks that evolutionary boundary and allows you to actually see what is out there. That's the moment you realize the choir was always right. The sky and the cosmos are one. We were born at the right time to experience this masterpiece. See, No Man's Sky is an impossibly big game. It's not the first survival crafting game, and it's not even the first to use procedurally generated landscapes. But let's use Minecraft as a comparison. In Minecraft, the feeling of an infinite expanse of procedural generation is specifically created around what we know in our real-life planet. That means that the different ecosystems and biomes you come across are predictable and recognizable throughout the entire server. This, of course, isn't inherently a bad thing. In fact, Minecraft is the best-selling standalone video game of all time. Obviously, there's an appeal to the recognition of our own home and the promise of doing whatever your mind can think of. But No Man's Sky is a game with 18.5 quintillion planets. That means it's 18 plus 18 zeros following that. That's so many planets that if you single-handedly found a planet every single second, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it would take you 585 billion years to find every planet. For reference, our actual universe is only 13.8 billion years old. That means it would take you 42 and a half lifespans of our actual universe to find every planet in this game. Now, I know that that's an impossible number to comprehend because we only live 70, 80, 90 years sometimes if we're lucky. So let's make this a little bit more comprehensible. If every single person on planet Earth, all 8.3 billion people, did the same thing, found a planet every second of every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with perfect coordination to prevent duplicate finds, it would still take the entire world 73 and a half years to find every planet. For reference, the average global lifespan is 73 years. Not only that, but every single planet and moon is built to scale. The game is impossibly big, and after 10 years, Hello Games has pulled no punches with the experience they strove to provide with their players with. During that entire explanation, I've been showing you how big and seemingly infinite just one galaxy is. This is the first galaxy in the game, the Euclid Galaxy, and each galaxy being approximately 1.15 million light years in diameter, you can sit and travel through the galaxy for as long as you desire and never run out of space or new systems to find. There are 256 galaxies in this game. On top of that, there are different galaxy types. Normal galaxy, which offers a general variety of the game's biomes, to lush galaxies, which predominantly feature paradise planets or lush planets with grass that ranges from green to blue to purple to fuchsia. Foaming planets with bubbles large and small in every direction you look, near and far, included with pink skies that remind you that the game is still whimsical. Planets with floating islands to planets teeming with illuminating flora that rhythmically glow, move as if the light is a wave in the ocean, sometimes both at the same time. There are harsh galaxies, which is full of, well, harsh planets. You have toxic, radioactive, frozen, scorched, high sentinel activity, and so much more. From ash-shrouded planets filled with nearly completely floating volcanoes and lightning storms unlike anything we could imagine on Earth. These planets have the harshest environments, but yield some crucially important and exclusive material in the game. There are empty and ancestral galaxies. These systems and planets are often dead and desolate worlds. Worlds in which they're accompanied with the same desolation from us, the real world. These planets are often looked past and avoided when not necessary because they don't offer the same visual appeal as a lush planet would. On top of that, each planet has its own set of fauna on them, most of which will leave you alone or even flee if you try to hunt them. However, occasionally, you may still stumble across another apex predator who's ready to hunt you. Because of course we're never the only predators. And you're not restricted on being on the ground or in the air. No Man's Sky has an extensive underwater experience that is almost an entirely different game still wrapped up in this one. If you want to kick your shoes off and walk down the sandy beaches of your nearest lush planet, you'll find a different universe. One that's just as big and imaginative as the one that you are actually being sold. I mean, this game is an experience about space exploration and visiting as many corners of the cosmos as you can. Simultaneously, it's a game about becoming intimately familiar with the environments and ecosystems of the planets you choose to inhabit. In that way, the game doesn't just stop at, oh, there's water on the planet, but you can turn No Man's Sky into your own version of Subnautica. There are submarines similar to the Tadpole in Subnautica 2 called Nautilus, which allows you to quickly explore the incredible depths of the oceans in No Man's Sky. You can even build your home base entirely underwater, should it please you. Similar to Minecraft, but in a much more bombastic and in-your-face way, Hello Games is creating a universe in which you can think of something, you can make it happen in No Man's Sky. And while I would love to talk about all of the base building that's possible in this game, I don't want the video to be too long. So instead, let's take a couple seconds and showcase some of the coolest bases that I was personally able to visit. An issue a lot of exploration games struggle with is the feeling of being overwhelmed with where to go, what to do, and how to progress. No Man's Sky masterfully and unapologetically leans into that feeling of uncertainty of your next step. But it is also a very beginner-friendly game that can nudge you in the right direction early on to get yourself up and running. It makes sure that, if you want, you can take the time to get comfortable with the mechanics. The first time you launch your spacecraft into the universe of No Man's Sky, start your cosmic adventure, it is so easy to let off your thrusters and allow yourself to aimlessly drift through space for a few moments, just basking in the rush of what do I even do next. You can travel to the nearby space station and try to talk to vendors, though you'll not know any of their language. You can fly through asteroid fields and act like you're piloting a TIE fighter. Or you can simply go find new planets. Planets in which, if you don't take the time to make visual record of them, will be lost back into the cosmos as if they were never discovered. Exploration is the root and heart of this game. The game does have a storyline. There is an objective to progress through and an effective end to that experience. That is, to reach the center of the galaxy. But it's not just the end of the game, not even close. Following the main storyline, you will eventually lead you to the center of the Euclid galaxy. At the center of the galaxy is exactly what you'd expect. A wormhole, a singularity that transfers you from one galaxy to another. A singularity that strikes you with the wrath of intimidation the first time you think about going to it. I've seen the videos on YouTube and thought they were cool, but I realized that they do not truly invoke the feeling you get the first time you arrive at a black hole. It truly is an experience that drops your stomach and it reminds you just how small you are in the real universe you inhabit. While No Man's Sky does have a storyline to it, the real story of the game is you. Like I said earlier, the game is impossibly big, and in almost every planet you find, it will almost certainly be the only time it will ever be inhabited. That makes you a part of history. An explorer who found planets, moons, stars, and systems that will never be seen again or even known by another person. Every planet you find is marked permanently reflecting that you are the person who discovered it. This creates a true sense of cosmology that we otherwise would never be able to experience. Hello Games looked up to the stars and said, "No more wondering. We're going to create what's out there." And I cannot help but ask myself, are they wrong? Compared to our universe, the amount of planets in No Man's Sky isn't even a drop in the bucket for how many planets are in our universe. Of course, the vast majority are likely uninhabitable, but the probability of Earth being the only paradise planet in our entire universe, capable of not only sustaining life, but intelligent life, is so close to zero. Is it even worth arguing? Is Hello Games wrong to say that our universe is full of planets with fuchsia grass, glow-in-the-dark flying jelly, bones older than Earth has been formed, and colors our eyes can't even register? The story of No Man's Sky is allowing you to figure that out. Hello Games has struck lightning in a bottle by providing players compelling guesses in an attempt to answer humanity's oldest question. What is out there? Complementing that lightning in a bottle is a sensation when gaming that no other game has been able to provide for me. Every second of learning this game Exploring the new systems and engulfing yourself in the universe they've created provides the perfect balance between nervousness of the vast expanse of the cosmic adventure and excitement of finally answering what is beyond the Earth that we have become so familiar with. The same balance of nerves and excitement that every single great explorer has felt. The nerve of the unknown and the excitement of being the first to ever discover something. In my interpretation of their art, and I realize I'm extrapolating a lot from something that may or may not be there, the universe that Hello Games created is not just an attempt to answer humans' oldest question, but it's a commentary on what video games are for their players. Video games are a boundless universe for someone to look up into the skies and say, what else is out there? And for it to be answered. Every two individual experiences on this game, or any game, is no more similar to each other than any two systems in No Man's Sky are. Sure, they may follow some of the same beats, but every experience is different. Every new game you play, every second, third, or 15th playthrough provides you with a new experience. Maybe you use new weapons. Maybe you drive new cars. Maybe you farm new resources. Maybe you challenge yourself to take no damage. Maybe you speedrun. Maybe you just wait for the next big update a few months down the line that seemingly changes how the game fundamentally feels. Nerfs, buffs, new features or content, etc. The choice is yours, and the experience that you make is completely unique to you doing it your way. That is the true essence of video gaming. It's not watching a story, or reading it, or hearing it. It's the experience that you get to make when you partake and you engulf yourself in the story as part of it. There is a reason when you watch a movie or read a book and you say, so-and-so did this action. But when you play a video game, you say, I did this. This makes the game yours, the experience completely your own. You become the characters. You get to truly interact with the worlds they have created instead of watching them pass by. On August 9th, 2016, when No Man's Sky officially released, it launched to a peak of 212,604 concurrent players on Steam alone. This doesn't include consoles. 1 month later, in September 2016, the peak dropped to what I'm sure was a heart-dropping 9,238. Following month, 2,148. In 2 months, Hello Games lost 99% of their player base. Something that, if done in today's climate, would absolutely shut down the game and the studio developing it. I bought the game at launch. I don't have any footage of it. I only have an old Facebook photo took of the very first ship that I've personally found, other than my Radiant Pillar BC1. I was on August 14th, 2016. I didn't play the game very much longer because, well, at launch the game was objectively bad, with almost nothing and certainly nothing of value or importance to do. It's not a secret now that when No Man's Sky released, the game did not come with many of the features or gameplay functions that Hello Games were promoting. It quickly became the poster child of what you don't want as a developer, of how you do not want your brand new video game to be received. But what happened in the 10 years after? Since then, they have introduced over 40 named major updates to the game. The game went from aimlessly wandering around planets with nothing to see or do, finding language monoliths just to have any life forms to talk to to a game with a truly multiplayer experience that includes community expeditions, planetary bases, intergalactic freighter expeditions, deep space combat, contraband smuggling, entire outlaw systems, compelling alien life being added with their own objectives and their own economy systems, biome overhauls with varying topography and weather that impacts the world, water that's reactive to the weather, fishing with friends, and even archaeology. And very crucially, a story that is being told. The story isn't necessarily the most compelling or gripping story in video games. That isn't what No Man's Sky is trying to accomplish. The story does what it needs to do. It gives some guidance to players like me who get overwhelmed in open exploration RPG games. Provide the player with a path to follow. This does multiple things for the game. First, it provides players with rewards that help the development of the player's experience in the game. More importantly, it retains the player who would put the game down from not being sure what to do and ultimately becoming bored of that. The changes that have been made are not for nothing either. Since losing 99% of their player base in the first 2 months of the game has been on a constant climb of peak players quarter over quarter. Starting with the first massive and transformative update they made on July 24th, 2008. The next update, which featured truly functional multiplayer, base building, and fleet commands. Things that are such core pillars of the game today that when they released, it truly felt like the rebirth of the game. With each massive update they release, each year around the birthday of the game, the player count spikes, with the smallest year being the October 2022 release of the Waypoint update, clocking in at just over 20,000 concurrent players on Steam, and the largest being September 25 after the 9-year anniversary update, bringing in a huge 110,900 concurrent players. The single largest peak concurrent player count since the release of the game on August 9th, 2016. Though I truly believe this year will still outpace previous years. But all that is absolutely to be expected in a live service game. A massive update happens and player counts spike to see the changes. What's more important is what's happening between those big updates. See, in the first year of No Man's Sky after the initial release, there were months where the peak player count on Steam barely peaked over 1,000 players. After the next update, the lowest month for the following year had a peak player count of 4,600. The following year had a low month with a peak of 8,500. And last year, after 9 years of updates, at the time of writing, the lowest peak count was 12,000, with nearly half of the months between August 2025 until now having peak player counts exceeding 20,000 players. This is showing that the updates they are making to the game are making a lasting impression on their audience, and it is improving player retention to the game. They are impactful updates that have sustained the longevity of the game, and that begs the question, why isn't Hello Games the standard that we hold developers to in video games? And I'm not asking that rhetorically, I mean seriously. Why do we allow developers to do what they do and gouge us and squeeze as much money as possible from us? From City Skylines 2, a $50 game with $140 worth of DLC that include crucial additional features such as soft rock radio, to free games like Valorant, whose devs release a new skin pack every other week, ranging from $35 to $120. No Man's Sky has gone from one of the most disappointing releases to a game that's had one of the best comeback stories, to a game that many people argue can't even be called a comeback story anymore because of how long it's been so good. It's in an entirely new era. And Hello Games has done all of this for free. See, outside of the original sale of the game, every single update that's been made to the game has been added for free. Hello Games isn't just providing their audience with an experience unlike anything else that constantly changes, improves, and adds new things. They're doing it all for free. If you bought the game on August 9th, 2016 like I did, Hello Games has not asked you for a single dollar more, even though the game you're playing right now, without question, is an objectively different game than you bought in 2016. By taking the actions that Hello Games has taken, even after 10 years, No Man's Sky is still sitting in the top 25 selling games right now by revenue on Steam. These days, Hello Games lets their updates and the game speak for themselves. When Hello Games founder Sean Murray teases an update, he doesn't try to excite you by telling you all the things they are adding. Instead, he often drops an emoji, or even a blank tweet. Do you understand how impressive it is for a development team to go from overhyping, if I'm going to be generous, a game to saying almost nothing and letting their work speak for itself? They're doing it right. It's clear that Hello Games has a reputation now of show, don't tell. The players are showing that what Hello Games are doing is worthwhile and appreciated. And I don't think that we, as a demographic for video game developers, are holding them to a higher standard enough for the money they charge us. No Man's Sky and Hello Games show us that it is possible to provide free service updates for years and still make enough revenue to continue growing your company. Because No Man's Sky is not the only thing that Hello Games is working on. If we were to take the description given to us about Light No Fire, the game would be an adventure survival sandbox set on a fantasy planet the size of Earth. One where every towering mountain can be climbed, the full depth of the oceans can be explored, and every continent can be visually picked apart, each with immersive biomes and valuable resources to discover. This starts to explain the mentality behind Hello Games. See, No Man's Sky is the perfect beta tester for Light No Fire. From a comprehensive wind system that drives dynamic weather that affects environmental elements like swaying trees, smoke, rain, and rough oceans with large waves. Many of these quality of life updates from No Man's Sky will be added to Light No Fire to help create a singular world that feels incredibly realistic and alive when you play it. Light No Fire was announced on December 7th, 2023. Since that time, No Man's Sky has gotten the world's 1, 2, and also Voyager's update. All three of these updates are practical updates that, when feedback is provided about them, will be implemented correctly into Light No Fire and directly helps the development of the next game they're creating. It's clear when looking at the roadmap for Hello Games that they are making these changes and adding these updates with intention, all with the explicit motive of creating the best experience they can for their dedicated player base in No Man's Sky, and prevent the same feeling at launch of Light No Fire as we felt with No Man's Sky. Hello Games has shown for 10 years of constant updates that they are dedicated to creating an experience unlike any others for its players. Light No Fire will not be any different. I'm sure they will create an experience that will be unlike anything else. Hello Games didn't just make a video game with No Man's Sky in 2016. They are still making one of the most renowned cult classic video game experiences ever created. After 10 years, the DNA of the game they've created has been so fundamentally changed that, while the bone structure is still there, the game is unrecognizable when compared to the 2016 release. This is, in my opinion, what makes video games such a special medium for storytelling, visual and audible art, and experience. No other medium allows its audience to feel and explore such drastic changes through the prolonged and sustained life and development of their product. And no game, I think, exemplifies just how prominent of a fixture that trait is in video games better than No Man's Sky. Sean Murray and Hello Games have carefully curated an experience unlike any other, and they are far from done. This year, No Man's Sky turns 10 years old, and you can be sure there will be a massive update for the 10-year anniversary of this game. And this game, more than any other in my opinion, is worthy of all the praise it receives today. From a catastrophic failure of launch to one of the most beloved and highly regarded live service games ever made. That isn't to say that No Man's Sky is flawless and without fault. But I'm not here for a feedback sandwich. I'm here to celebrate what has been offered to us as gamers and honor 10 years of painstaking work by the developers who did not stop improving on their passion project. A game with so much to offer and so much to say to its players that there truly is not enough words for No Man's Sky. Before I go, I'd like to take the time to thank you for sponsoring this video. As a small creator who isn't monetized, every view is incredibly crucial and helps so much to the development of this channel. This is the first video essay that I've released on the channel, and it certainly won't be the last. So I'd like to thank you, if you've made it this far, for giving me the one currency that you will never get back, which is your time. Of course, this is a far from perfect video essay, but it is a baseline and a starting point for me to figure out how I'd like to improve. Just like No Man's Sky and the launch of it was a baseline for Hello Games and how they would like to improve. So until next time, tell your friends and your family you love them, be kind to others, drink your water, and always strive to be a better person. And I will catch you in the next